And the way they signal the end of the song is they kick their foot up. So Dave can almost get that thing wrapped around your head when you kick out there. Sometimes I do that too.
That depends how mad he is, right?
Yeah. Well, I can remember, I think a summer I was out in Kansas where I spent my summers, and the song you heard on the radio was Leroy Brown. That was my favorite song. Great song. And I teach music and I teach dance, and I had this girl in my class. I always worry about girls that don't have spunk. I always they need a little grit, and you don't want them to be too compliant, and those days are gone. And her name is Jasmine, and one day Jasmine, she found her spunk. She grew a backbone right in front of me. Do you remember that day? And it was a beautiful day, and it just kind of inspired a song. So this is a little feminist riff on Leroy Brown. This is Jasmine Brown. A 1, 2, 3, 4. Touch it down.